Champions League Lens vs Sevilla prediction, team news, lineups preview. Engaging in a straight shootout for the consolation prize of Europa League football, Lens and Sevilla lock horns at the Stade Bollaert-Delelis in their final Champions League Group B encounter on Tuesday. The hosts hold a 3-point advantage over the winless Europa League holders and simply need to avoid defeat to deny Los Palanganas another shot at redemption in the continent's secondary tournament. Match preview. Lens manager Frank Hayes and his troops may have taught Arsenal a defensive lesson during their 2-1 win over the Gunners in October, but Les Sang-et-Or's previous rearguard excellence eluded them during last month's trip to North London, which ended in a 6-0 obliteration. 6 goals from 6 different scorers sent Arsenal through to the last 16 as group winners, and with PSV Eindhoven also completing an astonishing comeback over Sevilla on the penultimate match day. Lens' first Champions League adventure in 21 years will be ending at the first hurdle. However, the third-placed Sang-et-Or have their Europa League fate in their own hands and will drop into the knockout round playoffs of Europe's secondary tournament if they can take at least a point off their visitors on Tuesday. But defeat would eliminate them from Europe entirely given their inferior goal difference. A point was all that Hayes' men managed to clean from their most recent League One encounter away to Montpellier HSC on Friday, failing to convert their 65% possession into anything meaningful, although that bore draw did extend Lens' unbeaten streak in the French top flight to 10 matches. Furthermore, home has been where the heart is for Lens in recent weeks, as they have defeated Nantes, Marseille and Lyon in each of their last 3 matches at the Stade Bollaert-Delelis and have only ever lost one Champions League home game, a 3-1 beating at the hands of Dynamo Kiev in 1998. An hour of perfection preceded 30 minutes of implosion for Sevilla against PSV Eindhoven on matchday 5, as goals from Sergio Ramos and Youssef En-Nesyri seemingly set Diego Alonso's side on the way to their first Champions League win of the new term, which would have blown the fight for second place wide open. However, after Lucas Ocampos was given his marching orders for 2 bookable offenses inside 3 minutes, Sevilla capitulated at the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan, where an Ismail Saibari effort and Nemanja Gudeljoen goal preceded an injury-time Ricardo Pepi header in an astounding 3-2 win for the Dutch Giants. Veteran midfielder Fernando was also given a red card as Sevilla's last 16 hopes crashed and burned, leaving Los Palanganas Group B adversaries looking down on them in 4th place, but a first victory at the 6th attempt would see Alonso's men sneak into their favored Europa League. Such a scenario is fanciful if recent form is anything to go by, though, as a 1-0 loss to Mallorca at the weekend extended the visitors' winless run in La Liga to an alarming 9 matches. And their only 2 wins since October have been Copa del Rey successes against lower league opponents in Quintanar and Atletico Astorga. Speaking of unwanted 9-match runs, Sevilla have gone an identical period of time without a Champions League away win. But they held Lens to a 1-1 draw in their maiden Group B contest and are yet to lose a top-level European match away to a League One opponent. Team news. Owing to his sending-off on matchday 4 against PSV Eindhoven, Lens attacker Morgan Guilavogui sat out the crushing defeat to Arsenal at the Emirates, but the 25-year-old Guinea international is now eligible for European selection once again. That is more than can be said for ACL victims Jimmy Cabot and Wilker Farinez, although the latter is at least back in training once again, while Daver Machado groin and Ayanda Sashuba thigh are also sidelined. A few selection surprises were sprung by Hayes against Montpellier, but trusted performers such as Nampalys Mendy, Angelo Fulgini and Florian Sotoka back from a domestic ban should be trusted from the first whistle for Tuesday's encounter. As Sevilla players lost their rag against PSV, Alonso has now lost 2 of his regular starters to suspension, as winger Ocampos and linchpin Fernando will watch this one from the naughty step alongside coach Juanito, the 3rd member of the Sevilla contingent to see red in that game. However, Fernando is nursing a shoulder concern anyway and is one of a host of injury worries for Alonso, who is also without Alfonso Pastore, Suso thigh, Orjan Nyland thigh, Mariano Diaz discomfort, Tanguy Nianzou hamstring, Jesus Navas hamstring, Eric Lamela calf, Loic Bade calf, Joan Jordan thigh and Marcos Acuna hamstring. Sevilla's fitness crisis worsened when Dodi Lukebakio was taken off in the first half of their loss to Mallorca with a knee injury, which will render him unavailable for Tuesday's game. And with Adnan Januzaj not registered for Champions League action, Rafa Mir should fill the void. Lens possible starting lineup: Samba, Medina, Danso, Gradit, Frankowski, Abdul Samed, Mendy, Haidara, Sotoka, Fulgini, Wahi. Sevilla possible starting lineup: Dmitrovic, Sanchez, Ramos, Gudulj, Pedrosa, Rakitic, Somer, Sao, Torres, and Nisairai, Mir. We say, Lens 1-0 Sevilla. Bereft of reinforcements in all areas of the field and struggling for inspiration domestically, Sevilla ought to travel to France in hope more than expectation, especially with Lens always a force to be reckoned with in front of their expectant crowd. Hayes' men have not always dazzled and delighted on the attacking front in recent weeks, but they should find their way through a depleted Sevilla backline at least once to ensure Europa League qualification. Thanks for your watching. Don't forget to click the subscribed button and hit the bell icon for more.